Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review The Predator. So when I first heard that they were going to be making a, sequel to Predator, directed and written by Shane Black, I got super excited because I'm a huge fan of Shane Black. I really enjoy his comedy, his dark sense of humor. I've been a big fan of his because I love Lethal Weapon, I love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Iron Man 3 is a great film. Was it really what people wanted out of an Iron Man film? That's debatable. And The Nice Guys. But this movie is a hot mess. And it's so disappointing. I'm going to start with the little positives that I like about this movie and then try not to go off the deep end with how much I got mad about seeing this film. But it is funny. There are a lot of funny lines. This movie is literally filled to the brim with one-liners, and it's like the most Shane Black script ever. But it is funny, and between like the action and the gore of it, that really works. It's like that's what you expect from a Predator film, and they go all out on it, and it does work for the most part. And honestly, the supporting cast is a lot of fun. Trevante Rhodes from Moonlight is actually the best part of this movie, and honestly, probably should have been playing the lead, but whatever. And Keegan Michael Key, Thomas Jane, Sterling K. Brown, they all do a fun job in this film, and I appreciate their performances. Are their characters super interesting? Not really. But we're going to get back to one of them in particular soon. And in general, the whole concept of the story I thought was pretty interesting. It had a lot of potential. Does it live up to that potential? Not at all. And Henry Jackman's turn on Alan Silvestri's music is great. It's really intense. It's big. This makes this movie feel big and epic at moments, but the rest of the movie didn't. And honestly, it really does feel like an 80s action movie, and they do capture that tone very well. But that's about it. And Shane Black did not do a great job of writing this film with a logical story that makes sense. So many plot holes, so many things like that makes no sense. And you're sitting there being like, why did this happen? Why did this happen? Why did this character do this thing? When did this person become like super duper soldier lady when she's a biologist and basically had no inkling that she could even use a gun? Oh god. Ugh. And the direction, tonal issues, pacing. I was bored. And that's bad. If I'm watching an action movie and I'm bored, there's a problem. And it's not a fact that like this film goes really quickly. It zooms through everything, but like it never feels interesting enough to keep your attention. And there's like one scene where you actually feel any tension or suspense in the whole entire film. That's messed up. This movie's almost 2 hours. It's like, how do you screw up that bad? And the CGI is bad. And it's just like, this was $88 million budget and you couldn't do better. And they probably should use more practical effects. The one Predator that's an actual suit looks really good. And that Predator actually has more charisma than our main character. But the editing, they messed this film up. This is like Suicide Squad level edited to shit. And it's just bad. And it makes no sense. There's like, they randomly get an RV out of nowhere. And it's like, where'd they get this? And then time logic makes no sense. You jump places. Like, it felt like the complaint that everybody had about the most recent season of Game of Thrones. It's like, when did people magically carpet ride across the map here? That's what it felt like in this film. And the main character is extremely boring. Boyd Holbrook, I know, can bring a lot of charisma, and he brought a decent amount to this film, but like, who gives a crap about this main character? And there's just, this film is insensitive as well. Literally, there's a character who has Tourette's, and it's used as punchlines of jokes throughout the whole entire film. And it's just like, this really shouldn't be a thing still, but it is. This movie felt like it was written and made in the 80s because, I don't know, and they tried to make a kid on the autism spectrum come off as, like, they were trying to make it out in a positive way, but the film just it didn't work out that way, and it just didn't feel that way. There's so much wasted potential in this film. It obnoxiously sets up for a sequel. If this movie makes enough money to get a sequel, I guess it'll pick up where this left off. It felt as bad as the end of the most recent Independence Day, which was so obnoxious. So was this. Actually, these films actually remind me of each other a lot, and that's really disappointing because I hated the Independence Day resurgence, and honestly, I'm not a fan at all of this one. It's a waste of time. I wouldn't go see it, and there's not much to get out of it. So, I cannot recommend The Predator, but thank you as always for checking out your Wasteland reviewer.